welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy, I'm your man, Mr. Elton Henry. And today I'd like to talk to you of another underrated film, which I gotta be honest, it took me a few watches to kind of get into it more. It was a uniquely different kind of movie. And first time I watched it, I didn't like it, but then I don't know, it just grew on me. And then and rewatching it, and then I liked it more. And I remember I just first discovered this film in high school. I knew of the film. I've seen the cassettes around, and I've seen just on the filmography of Richard Donner. It actually looks interesting. The movie I'm referring to is Conspiracy Theory, starring Julia Roberts, Patrick Stewart, and Mel Gibson. And it centers around a taxi driver who is obsessed with conspiracy theories, who finds out he is a target when he, I guess, supposedly mentions that one of the conspiracy theories that he likes to blabber about turns out to be true. Now he's on the run from the government, who's trying to hush him up. And this is a very convoluted movie, but it also deals with multiple genres tonally, and that was unusual, at least for me, with this film. It's a fun mystery action film, political thriller, and they don't make these kind of movies like that anymore, and that sucks. That's the one thing about this film I do appreciate. It just on nostalgic purposes, it just feels old school, and I just miss those kind of movies. But you have Mel Gibson, a deranged, well, maybe deranged is not the right word, but he's a very paranoid. I wouldn't say a schizophrenic, but he's a very paranoid taxi driver who likes to blab about conspiracy theories and to keep his customers kind of occupied with his talk with the theories that he like to discuss about. And one of them, he mentions something where he shouldn't mention, where he gets pulled aside from these mysterious men who supposedly implied to work for the government and probably cover up agents that are trying to hush him up and trying to figure out what he knows or just how much he knows about their secrets. Alongside, uh, Mel Gibson also has a secret crush on this lawyer played by Julia Roberts, who I, she knows about him, but she I don't she the guy's weird because he is kind of just socially off. I mean, the guy is extremely just paranoid and just social cues are just a little bit just weirded out because the guy's just too paranoid actually what's going on and just what happens, and then there's more that gets dive into his life, and the two somewhat join forces, or I wouldn't say join forces, but Juliet Roberts somewhat tags along once she kind of finds out that there are men, suspicious men, after Mel Gibson, and she's trying to figure out um, just how true are these conspiracy theories are. And what I really admire about this film is I like how creative the chase scenes and action scenes are, and they're just unusual. They're not your standard action scenes you would see normally in action films, but feels more grounded, but feels more stylized, and it's something that I could reflect back to and admire for trying to do something different. This is more of an experimental, not too much. I mean, mainstream experimental action thriller. And I appreciate for what the film tried to do with Richard Donner. the film director, may he rest in peace, try to have fun with this script because it's a fun film. Um, it did throw me off the tone and the subject matter of what they were doing with this film. It was just bizarrely made for me, but over time it did grow on me. There are a couple of sequences I do find here to be very memorable. I really love the first action sequence where Jerry tries to escape from his capturers in the while he's being interrogated, and he's on a wheelchair. He tries to get out from a wheelchair. And then I also like the action scene where Jerry, played by Mel Gibson, booby traps his house and sets it up on fire with these man with these like firework like ropes. He just torches his house, and it's a cool sequence. And it's one of my favorite sequences, and like it was just very anxiety just filled with this sequence. But I really like how I really liked the creativity that went to these action sequences for this film. Patrick Stewart plays a very intimidating and somewhat evil version of Charles Xavier, but not in the wheelchair. This guy is very manipulative, and I think this is perfect casting on whoever the casting director is, or just Richard Donner, because the guy looks like a therapist, and he will tell you things that may make sense, and you believe it, but deep down, this dude just does not have any good intentions at all, and you just feel that manipulative vibe that he uh, dishes out, just coming from the guy, just coming from Patrick Stewart, and he nails that. Julie Roberts, she's great in here. I do like how more involved she becomes in Jerry's predicament as the film goes on. I do like as the film goes on, she does try to aid and help him out. And I like what they do with her character towards the end. It does to me feel heroic, I would say. Uh I do recommend this film. It's actually 1997. You can watch it for free. You can pull it up on YouTube. You just pull it up and just watch it for free. Um, I do think I don't think this film was very well received when it came out, and it's different. It's a different kind of movie. It's a different kind of action film that I can appreciate for its boldness, for its creativity, and you know what? I do miss an old school political action film you don't normally see anymore. And it gets political with tone, but nothing to where I don't think it deals with any messaging. But I think in the '90s, I think from what I believe, there was a post Cold War feel of those films, and I think it does have some effect with this film. But all in all, I do believe this is a enjoyable watch. Again, tonally, it's just I think it's all over the place with comedy. It has like some sort of weird psychological horror vibes, and they got action, but I do recommend it. Conspiracy Theory. Have you seen it? Comment below. Let me know if you have, and let me know what is your favorite underrated movie.